Well, hello everybody. This is Captain Gamer. This is my first attempt to record an intro to my very peculiar Let's Play. Let's put like this on a very huge base. At least I hope it will be. Anyway, I always saw a lot of people talking. Oh, check out my mega base. Look out. This space is huge and everything. And then I went to look and it wasn't what I was expecting. Let's just say like this. I was expecting at least anything 4 times bigger than that. At least. You see, Factorio, the best thing about Factorio is it's limitless. At least it makes you feel that way. Makes it feel that way. And you can just make anything you think in your mind. And well, let's just say I had quite an imagination for epicness. At least yeah, the imagination. In practice, it's not so easy to make something like that, but I gotta try. This will be my attempt at making a huge mega base. Basically, this. And here you have my game at 6 hours. I'm just saying this at the intro because this is how the base will be after the first time lapse. I'm going to show it to you, and we will go back to this state of the factory right after showing that time lapse. And this will be what I'm going to build. Well, the first 2 hours I will build this. That will be just a basic science lab that can get things going and already does things quite fast, especially at the rate that I'm building the rest of the factory. And here are the basic furnaces for copper and iron plates. But the big thing about this game, it's very, very modded. I'm using the same mod pack that Arumba used at his Ops and Angels. You can see here a big list of mods that I have, and a lot of them I don't even know how to use. But the most important things are the Bob's mod. There is a lot of things on Bob's that makes the chemical process and everything more realistic. And then there is Angels ores, which is sometimes a pain in the ass. Oh, sorry for the word, but yeah, it is very hard to expand the ore process reprocessing. But once it's done, boy, it does look pretty. Here we have, well, here, letter E, everything angel ores, lots of big storages, beautiful silos in the color, but they can store anything you want, and a lot of things to process and reprocess the excess of ores. And we will dive into that during the game. There is a lot of stuff into that. And it takes a very amount of space. You see, on my game, I don't want to use the faster crushers. Just the slower ones. Well, not this one that's burner ore, but the slower tire possible. Maybe I'll change to this because it's taking way more space than I ever thought. I still thought it was going to take a lot of space, and it's taking twice as much as that, or 3, 4 times more. So I may need to upgrade this. And about the base, it's I don't know how many times I played this game already, but one thing that always it's hard on Factorio is leaving enough space. You always think you're leaving enough space, and if you turns out you're gonna need 10 times as much. Basically that. And my other games, I never left room for expansion exactly. So it was a big problem when I had to expand. And it just made everything more ugly and clubbered. So this time, you see me here on the small starting area. And this is what I'm planning to do. The first area here, which is 500 squares by 500 squares. Well, here is 250. 500, but it will be 500 per 500, like this, or even more. I don't know. The thing is, I will leave the rooms on the sides to expand. This first area here will be everything that we need for angel ores. Everything related to those things on this tab here. All those buildings. And boy, they take a lot of space. So it is needed. It is needed. After that, after this small area here, the next one will be for the basic smelting. Also, below this area, I will leave for trains, the train station to come and unload things here. Then the ore processing, and here the smelting. I still don't know exactly how many of each item and entity I will need in the process. I don't know if I ever will, but I will try to make things in a way that can be expanded, or if I will make them in a more permanent way, I will leave extra room to the sides in any way. And well, after those two areas, this will be like an empty area just to resort everything that enters here and come out here in a more organized way. And who knows, I still need to see where I'm going to put the refinery. And here, finally, it will be the base. You see all those little things are, each one of those things are 4 belts. I wanna play this game with only using this slower transport belt, and I might never be able to really play the game to finish the base the way I'm telling, because there is a limit for the Factorio, which is your CPU processing power. Even though I have a very good one, it's an i7, it's still I'm still afraid of what will happen. But I wanna use only this lower belt, and also no splitters on the main bus. If you need something that is coming from down below or from another area of the factory that's going to be inserted further ahead, you need to make a second belt from the origin point. Yes, it will be the most heavier base forever for the computer to reprocess. But whatever, let's see what will happen. How much of my computer will clubber, and it probably will be a very good base to send for the Factorio developers to try to debug and improve the aspects of the game that this factory will address. I also won't be using transport pods, transport things inside the factory, but I will use bots still to transport items to me a lot of them, and also construction bots because it's impossible to build this thing by hand. And I'm also planning on making everything with ground and concrete and everything as pretty as possible. I mean, I want to make this base like it was a base in real life that is a permanent building that people thinks takes years to plan on, and it needs some safety distance from one thing and to the other for people to be able to walk and everything. I want to give that real life look. And I may need to rebuild things, destroy and rebuild, but the factory may never work because of the size and the scale that I'm thinking. But in even then, I want to build this. It will be like a concept factory, just to imagine how it will be if it worked. And I think it probably will still work enough. It will, though, just enough to get the taste for it. Okay, enough of me talking. Let's go for the first time lapse. I am Kepler Gamer, and I'm glad you're here watching this. And I really hope that you enjoy watching my playthrough, or at least looking at the final state of the factory, or the middle states, everything. Just, I hope you enjoy. Have fun.